Welcome back, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss the important textual activities, read and respond to question answers of going out for a walk. Textual activities question number one. What does the author consider as the drawbacks of London City? Drawbacks here means what are the negative qualities, unfavorable aspects of London. Let us see the drawbacks or the unfavorable conditions or aspects of London are its endless noise. Noise pollution is there and hustle, hurry burry situation. And it's a smoky air. London City has a smoky air and it's a squalor, hurry burry, unhygienic situations. Question number two. What is the author's excuse to avoid walking? Why author is taking exceptions or exemptions for not going for walk or to avoid walking? The author's excuse to avoid walking is to tell the people who call him for a walk that he has many letters to write. That was the assumption he was taking in order to avoid walking with the people who call him for a walk. That's all. Question number three. Why is the author's excuse ineffective? You see, author has already taken an excuse to avoid walking with the friends who call him for a walk. And his excuse became ineffective. Why? Let us see what is the reason. The author's excuse is ineffective in three ways. So let us see the first one. It is not believed, it is unbelievable. When the author says that he has so many letters to write, the people who called the author for a walk will not believe. Second reason, it forces you to rise from your chair to go to the writing table and pretend to be writing a letter until the walkmonger goes out of the room. That is a very second reason for making his excuse ineffective is so while he is telling he must get up, the writer should get up from his chair, rise from his chair and go to the writing table and pretend to be writing a letter until the walkmonger goes out of the room. That is the second difficulty. And the third one, it won't work on Sunday morning. Sunday mornings, post offices are having holidays because there is no post out till the evening on Sundays. Because of these three reasons, the author's excuse becomes ineffective. Question number four. What makes the author say that walking for walking's sake stops one's brain? You see, there are so many people taking walking for walking's sake. So author says that walking for walking's sake stops one's brain. Let us see. The author says that walking for walking's sake stops one's brain because then a person's power to instruct or to amuse when he is sitting on a chair or standing on a hearthrug leaves him. These are the reasons he is telling that walking for walking's sake stops one's brain. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Question number five. Write down two more such wall notices. So we know that wall notices: drive slowly, caution, sharp curve. So these are the notices we can come across, just like trespassers will be prosecuted. Question number 6. What, according to the author, is the thought process taking place in the brain during a walk? So, while a person is engaged in a walk, what is the thought process taking place? Let us see what is the answer. A man is not urged by his reasoning faculties to go for a walk. He is urged by something that surpasses reasoning capacity, by his soul. His soul tells his body to go for a walk. The brain asks the soul where to go and for what purpose to go. The soul then replies that there is no definite destination or any particular mission. That is why we call it as this is the thought process taking place in the brain during a walk. Question number 7. What is the author's opinion of having a vehicle for every destination? Destinations means the place we wanted to reach by traveling on foot or by vehicles. The author does not take a vehicle to every destination. That is a very important thing. The author does not take a vehicle to every destination. He never goes out of his way to avoid exercise. When a vehicle is essential, he takes one for reaching the destination. That is. What holds the author back from going out for a walk? So you see, when we go through the essay, we can understand that the author is a whole, the something is there that holds the author back from going out for a walk. People wanting to see him and work in his own premises hold the author back from going out for a walk. One is people wanting to see him, doesn't like him see, or work in his own premises hold the author. These are the two things. So people wanting to see him and work in his own premises hold the author back from going out for a walk. Activity 1, write up. Very general questions. Do you usually go out for morning walk or evening stroll? Stroll means having a leisurely walk. It is your question. Yes, I do. I usually go out for a morning walk. I usually go out for a morning walk. Yes. Question number 2. What do you usually, no, who do you usually go out with? That is all. Sometimes you may be going with your parents, or you may be going out with your siblings, brothers or sisters, or I usually go out with my friends. That is all. Question number 3. What do you enjoy the most while walking? While walking, you will be enjoying something the most. Let us see what is that. While walking, I enjoy the sights along the street most, enjoying the beauty of the nature around you. Question number 4. How do you feel after a walk? What was the feeling that you get after having after having completed a walk? After the walk, I feel energetic and happy. Very good logical answer. Question number 5. Make a difference between going for a walk and being taken out for a walk. So there is a difference. Going for a walk, it is voluntary. You yourself feeling it is good for going for a walk. But being taken out for a walk means some friends are coming to you and forcing you to go with them for a walk. This is the difference between. Going out for walk means you go out because you want to go out. That is a voluntary action with your own willing, your own wish. Being taken out for a walk means you don't go, you don't like to go because you are keen on going, but somebody whom you can't refuse forces you to go with him. That means somebody is coming and forcing you, and with that compulsion or force, you are going out to with him. If a very dear person, means a very intimate friend, comes and tells you to go for a walk with him, you can't refuse and you are obeying and going with him for a walk. Question number 6. Now prepare a write up on walking and your preferences. It's a general question because you can write answer with your own experience. A write up on walking and your preferences, your likings. Walking. Walking is an excellent form of exercise and it is good for our health. A person who walks for about 3 kilometers a day can maintain his physique very well. That is all. 3 meters, 3 kilometers a day. Walking gives exercise not only to the body but also to the mind. Remember that, my dear students, exercise is so walking is an exercise not only to the body but also to the mind. Both the mind and body is getting benefited out of walking. As our muscles and body shake up, increasing the blood circulation, we see new things forcing our mind to think. Staying inside all the time makes one bored with the life. Walking brings variety, various aspects into our lives. Variety is the spice of life. So life will become very pleasurable, very satisfied, and very useful and healthy. That is why, if you want to add variety to your lives, you must go for a walking. Doctors say that large numbers of people suffer from back pain due to lack of exercise. Of course, doctors predict that there are so many people undergoing back pain due to lack of exercise. They say walking reduces back pain. If you have back pain or if you don't want to contract with the back pain in your life, please go for walking. When we walk, the fat accumulated in our body burns up. Okay, the unwanted fat accumulated in our body is burnt up while we go for walking. Then carbohydrates are burnt. Thus, we clear our body from extra fat and carbohydrates. Another paragraph, walking is an exercise which does not cost anything extra. It is a beneficial. You need not to spend any money for walking. You may need a good pair of walking shoes. Okay, if you want to have a healthy walk, you need a pair of walking shoes. These days, there are many people who jog every morning or evening for health reasons, of course, for every morning and evening for health reasons. So many people go for jogging. Jogging is walking at a greater speed than walking, less than running. In between running and walking comes jogging. Walking is especially good for people who do sedentary jobs. Actually, sedentary jobs which force the people to sit down for long periods. That people who are working with the computers and office work, so they are having sedentary jobs, means they are sitting down for long periods. Such people, jogging is very good. Walking is especially good for such people. I like to go for walking with the friends. When we walk, talking with the friends, walking becomes doubly enjoyable. That is all. We will not feel the difficulty of walking. So when you walk with your friends and talking and walking, walking becomes doubly enjoyable. We forget the bodily exertion of walking. Yeah, we don't feel the difficulty of the exercise of walking, and at the same time we exchange views, we communicate our views on so many matters or issues or things. I prefer to walk early in the morning when the streets are not crowded. The air then will be fresh. You see, early morning walk will give us a fresh air to breathe, and without much dust. There is no pollutants like dust. My advice to all the young boys and girls is to go to their schools on foot. If possible, every day when there is a school opening, you can go to your school on foot rather than bicycles or two wheelers. If the distance is not much, if it is a long distance, you can go on foot, you can go to school by walking will make you healthy, wealthy and wise. So what are the benefits of walking? Which will make a person healthy person, and he will be a wealthy person, rich person, and he will be intellectually wise person. Activity 2, personal essay. Read the note and tips on personal essay given on page 152 and 153 of the text. Attempt to write a personal essay on the topic of your choice. Example, swimming, jogging. These are the two very important exercises for building up a healthy, wealthy, and wise life. Let's go for answer. The other day I was walking with my friend when I saw a gruesome sight. Means gruesome sight means which is not a very pleasant sight. Two young boys were working at a construction site. Two young boys. So child labor is prohibited, but two young boys were working at a building construction site. They were carrying heavy loads of bricks on their heads. Very pathetic. That is why that site is a gruesome sight. These two young boys were carrying heavy load of bricks on their heads. They were about 10 years old. Oh, we will also feel sorry for them. They wore rags. Actually, they were wearing a very poor, torn, and untidy dress, and poverty was writ large on their faces. Of course, these two young children were very poor children. Although child labor is banned in India, many people still make children do a lot of hard work. Not may people, it is many people. So may is a spelling mistake. It is many people. Many. Many people. That is all. May is wrong. It is many. Many. Okay. Many people still make children do a lot of hard work. I felt sorry for them. Okay, I felt sorry for them. Next paragraph. Child labor refers to the employment of children in any work that deprives them of their childhood and interferes with their ability to attend a regular school. That is a very common law. You see here, child labor refers to the employment of children in any work that deprives them, that asks the children not to do their work of their childhood and interferes with their ability to attend a regular school. So, if children are employed at the very childhood age, they are not getting opportunity to attend a regular school. It also refers to any employment of children in jobs that are mentally, physically, socially, or morally harmful. So these are the social aspects which are harmful to the children. Mentally harmful, physically harmful, socially and morally harmful. Employing children in jobs which are supposed to be done by the adult is considered exploitative by many international organizations. It is a crime. It is against the interest of the children. Legislations across the world prohibit child labor. No country wants its children to spend their childhood in working at jobs which the adults are supposed to do. So child labor is in all the way is prohibited. Next paragraph. Child labor was employed to varying extents through most of history. Before 1940, many children between the age of 5 to 14 were made to work in Europe. Another countries, European countries, conditions is very detailedly described. The USA and the various colonies of European powers. These children worked in agriculture, home-based assembly operations, factories, and even in mining sites also, mining locations. Some worked night shifts lasting 12 hours. With the rise of household income, availability of schools and passage of child labor laws, the incidence of child labor rates fell. So, so this was the condition earlier, and incidence of child labor rates now it's coming down. In developing countries where there is a high poverty, developing countries, but what are the natures of the developing countries? There is a high poverty, no availability of money and basic comforts of life, and less opportunities for schooling. Child labor is still prevalent. Then let us see the statistical data. In 2010, Sub-Saharan Africa had the highest incidence of mild labor. So, highest incidence of mild, it is not mild, child labor, CHILD, of child labor. Incidence of a child labor, not mild labor. Okay, so please CHILD, not TMILD, of a child. T should be cut down. CHILD, child labor. With the several African nations witnessing over 50% of the children aged between 5 and 14 working. That is the statistical data. Agriculture is the largest employer of the child labor. That is all. Agriculture is the section where many children were employed working. Vast majority of child labor is found in rural areas and informal urban economy. Informal urban economy. That is all. Even parents make their children labor hard. Parents also force the children to work hard at homes and in the fields also. Poverty and lack of schools are the main causes for child labor. That is all. Because they want money to feed themselves and properly dress themselves and have other facilities of the life situations. In Kerala, now let us look at the case of Kerala, which is called God's own country. We see children from other states employed in the homes of the well-to-do to work as servants, to do household chores, household activities. Making the children work like a servant is a sin against God and sin against man. When the rich people send their own children to school, you see, rich people send their own children to school, these poor boys and girls stand looking helplessly at their miserable plight. Plight means a sad condition that they cannot go to school, they have to work as slaves in rich people's houses or other fields. You can try to prevent child labor by reporting such cases to the police or to some other authorities concerned. That is all. Next paragraph. God has given us childhood to enjoy and to learn. Childhood is literally meant for enjoyment and for learning. It is gross injustice to deprive the children of their childhood and learning opportunities. Okay, children should be given opportunities for enjoying their childhood and learning new interesting lessons. In the novels of Charles Dickens is a famous novelist. We see how boys like Oliver Twist suffered because of child labor. Remember, each child has a dream. Don't deprive him of his own dream or her own dream. God will never forgive you if you are the cause to deprive a child of his own dream. That is a very serious sin if you try to deprive a child of his own childhood. My friend and I went to the nearest police station to report what we saw at the construction site. We saw that two young children were working in a construction site. The policeman sitting there took down our complaint. He wrote down the complaint, but with the police take any action against those who employed. But will the police take any action against those who employed the boys to work there? It's a question. Will there be police action against the people who employed those young boys in the construction site? We could only hope they will. Of course, we can only hope for the best that the police will take action against the employer who employed these two young children in the construction site. Activity 3, survey. The survey is to be carried out by the student themselves. Do it the following questionnaire and the suggestions given in the text on page 153 and 154. Activity 4, read and practice. Let us practice. Answer the following questions using would rather. This is a very famous and very important question. Sometimes you can expect 2 marks questions for this one. Answer the following questions using would rather. What did you have for breakfast today? I would rather have a bread and jam. Would rather have. So question is, what did you have for breakfast today? നിങ്ങൾ പ്രാതലിന് കഴിക്കുവാനായി എന്താണ് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്? So we can write answer like this. I would rather, look here, I would rather have a bread and jam for breakfast today, or banana and puttu, or idli and sambar. I would rather have idli and sambar for breakfast today. I would rather have a bread and jam for breakfast today. I would rather have chapati and a egg curry. That's all. I would rather have a bread and jam for breakfast today. Second question. How would you like your coffee with some cream or milk? So we will say, I would rather like my coffee with some milk. So I would rather have or I would rather like my coffee. I would rather like my coffee. That is a very important one. I would rather like my coffee with some milk. Third question. How are you going to the doctors? I would rather go in a car to the doctors. Or I would rather go in a bus to the doctor. Fourth question. Where do you like to go on vacation? I would rather go to Singapore. I would rather go to Singapore on vacation. Last question, whom do you like to go out with? I would rather go out with Karina, one of your friends. I would rather go out with Karina. Now let us see how can we express wishes. For wishes about the future, we use would or could. That's a very important. Expressing wishes, we must use two words: would, otherwise could. I wish I could get a better bike. I wish I could get a better bike. To talk about the wishes in the present, we use the past tense forms. I wish the dress was not so expensive. For past wishes, we use the past perfect tense has past perfect tense had. I wish I hadn't wasted my money on that silly movie. I wish I hadn't past perfect negative. I hadn't wasted my money on that silly movie. Now we are going to extended activities which will give you more confidence to attempt the questions in your public examination question paper. Activity 11. Do you think that there should be physical education in schools? Prepare a write-up saying why or why not. I think there should be physical education in schools. Very good. We need a physical education because full time from the morning till from morning 9 o'clock till 4:30 in the evening, sitting in the classrooms, which will be unhealthy for young students. Okay, so I think there should be physical education in school. I have many reasons to say. You see, why should I say? Because there are so many reasons to say so. So let us see that one. In Latin, there is a saying. Latin is a language. In Latin language, there is a quotation, a saying, wise saying, an intellectual saying. Mens sana in corpore sano. Mens sana in corpore sano. In English language, it means mens sana, a sound mind in a corpore sano, in a sound body. You see, if your body is having a sound body, which is healthy, that means by exercise, if you make a very healthy body, then you will have a sound mind. Mens sana in corpore sano. Okay, so that means a sound mind in a sound body. A sickly body will not have a healthy mind. You see, a man who is having back pain, a headache, not a strong body, he will have an unhealthy mind also. Physical education helps in the formation of a healthy and active lifestyle. Very important one. Physical education helps in the formation of a healthy and active lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle and active lifestyle. Such a lifestyle makes the body and the mind sound. So, healthy lifestyle, active lifestyle makes the body and the mind very sound. Very sound means very healthy. Physical education helps in the development of leadership qualities. Try to understand these points. So, physical education helps in the development of leadership qualities. To be a leader, one should have the capacity to organize, take initiatives, guide and control his mates. He should be fearless and just. Actually, that person, a leader, should not have fear. He should be just, he should be accurate, he should be always to stand for truth. By taking part in physical education, let us see what are the benefits. A person develops confidence. By physical education, he is getting confidence, cooperation, having adjustment with other people, and there is a team spirit. Work is done in teams. You see, remember, my dear students, nothing can be done individually, except certain things. So, work is done in teams. Although individual excellence counts, individual excellence is very much counted. It is the group work that makes a project successful. If any endeavor you want to become successful, it is the group work. Any big event is the result of teamwork. You see, any big event which is the result of a teamwork. Think about if a football match, any team has won, it is the total work of the coordination of the total work of the all the members of the team. Games are lost and won based on the team spirit. We all know that united we stand, divided we fall, and unity is strength. So we must all should work as a team spirit, as a team, then success will be ours. Next paragraph. A positive attitude is very essential for success. An optimistic attitude. Optimistic means seeing goodness in whatever the things we see. An optimistic attitude keeps one very cheerful, very happy, and prepared to work hard. He will be ready to work hard. Perseverance. Perseverance means സഹിഷ്ണുത, സഹിക്കുവാനുള്ള കഴിവ്. Perseverance essential, very important for any important work. Physical education helps one to build a positive attitude to life and things. Optimism or positive attitude, if you wanted to develop, please try to engage in physical education. That means exercises. When we keep our bodies in shape, our mind also gets shaped with the right attitudes. Okay, body is in shape, then mind also will be shaped with the good and right attitudes. Physical education brings a confidence and self-esteem. Two important personal positive qualities: self-confidence and self-esteem. Only if we believe in ourselves, നമ്മൾ നമ്മളിൽ തന്നെ വിശ്വസിച്ചാൽ തന്നെ others will believe in us. മറ്റുള്ളവർ നമ്മളിൽ വിശ്വസിക്കും. Dr. Abdul Kalam said that each person is unique. Of course, we have studied. Each person is unique in his speech, and he should try to remain he. He should be he and no one else, and he should not imitate anyone. We should feel that we are unique. We don't have to imitate and copy other people. Self-confidence and self-esteem grow by our being active in physical education. So if you wanted to inculcate the positive qualities of confidence and self-esteem, try to be active in physical education. Physical education also helps us to learn better. Learning. So physical education increases our learning better. Fit body keeps the mind fit and alert. If your body is fit, it will keep your mind fit and very vigilant, alert. An alert mind grabs things fast. Yeah, alert mind, vigilant mind is understanding. Grabs means understanding things fast. And physical exercises helps the brain to retain things for a long time. You see, we can remember the things for a long time. The exercise will help the brain to remember the things for a long time. Physical education also instills civic virtues and civic responsibilities. ഒരു പൗരധർമ്മം നമ്മളിൽ ഉളവാക്കുന്നു. That is all. Civic virtues in us. We become more compassionate and loving. We feel compassionate for the suffering people, and we become loving people for the depressed people. We become ready to help others. Physical education is a group activity, and so group welfare or social welfare becomes an important aspect of our training also. It is a training. Physical education is a training. By that time, it is a group activity, and we have to take care of our group welfare, well-being, social well-being. He is a social man, is not an island. Very important quotation. മനുഷ്യൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വെറും ഒരു ഐലൻഡ് മാത്രമല്ല. He is a social being, and physical education drives into our minds this significant concept or idea. We have to depend upon all the aspects of our life. In all schools all over the world, Physical education is compulsory because it has such a big role to play. Role. So it has a big role. ROLE. ഒരു 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 നമ്മളെന്താ പറയുക, എ ബിഗ് റോൾ, ഒരു നല്ല ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഘടകം വഹിച്ചു തീർക്കുവാനായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഹാസ് എ ബിഗ് റോൾ ടു പ്ലേ ഇൻ ദ ലൈഫ് ഓഫ് ആൻ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഇൻ ദ ലൈഫ് ഓഫ് ദി സൊസൈറ്റി. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഓൾ. Now read the notes given on page 159 of your textbook. The newspaper headlines below may remind you some of your friends who are addicted to junk food, energy boosters, computers, bike racing, etc. You are worried about how these habits will affect them mentally, physically, and academically. Being the health officer of your school, you decided to make a speech in the morning assembly on the adverse effect of such lifestyle and the need to take charge of oneself. Draft the script of the speech. So, drafting a script of the speech is the compulsory question in your question paper, please. So, you see here there are so many bad habits. It is an addiction. Many of the youngsters of your own age are addicted to junk food, which is unhealthy to the body. Energy boosters and computers addiction, bike racing. So these are the bad habits and which will destroy the life of the youth mentally, physically, and academically. Remember, you are the health officer of your school and you are preparing a speech, scripting a speech in order to make your classmates or schoolmates aware of the negative effect of such lifestyle. Let us see how will you write a script. My dear students, you are standing in the assembly to address all the students of your school. So you are addressing my dear students. Today, I am going to talk to you about some of the things that bring a lot of harm. Harm means danger to the youth of today. Being part of the youth, that means all the students gathered in the assembly are undergoing the aspect of youthfulness in their life. You should know some of the dangerous things that have gripped the young minds. First of all, many youngsters think that homemade food is not cool. Many of the youngsters do not like the food prepared at home. They like to get and very strongly wishing for getting junk food brought from fast food restaurants. They go after fast food and fizzy drinks, carbonated drinks. They are fond of eating hamburgers, pizzas, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chickens, noodles, pasta, and such other things. They forget that these use a lot of dangerous additives and colors. So you see, artificial colors and additives, the elements which will make the consumers addicted to such products, they are applied in this junk food. Recently we heard how the broiler chicken which we consume so much is injected with all sorts of antibiotics and hormones. That is yet another one very important truth. The broiler chicken that we are eating is very much injected with all kinds of antibiotics and hormones. Next paragraph, a hectic lifestyle. So we are living in the 21st century and we are undergoing a very tight schedule, very busy lifestyle leads to ill health. We will become unhealthy and anxiety related illness. We have many diseases related to anxiety, unhappiness, unsatisfaction. Hurry brings worry. Another very hurry brings worry. If you want to be fast, which will make your life unsuccessful. Many of you like speed. Yeah, many youngsters like a speed life. Speed thrills, but it kills. So many youngsters are addicted to what do we call it as bike racing. Okay, so hurry brings worry. Many of you like speed. Speed thrills, but it kills. So slow down. Slow and steady wins the race. Haste makes waste. Very important quotations and everything. So many of you are techie savvy. Yeah, addicted to modern electronic gadgets like cell phones and computers and laptops. You are addicted to all sorts of latest gadgets, mobiles, iPad, iPod, and all such devices. Once you are denied, so എല്ലാ പറഞ്ഞ എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും നിങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് മാറ്റി നിർത്തിയാൽ you suffer from gadget withdrawal syndromes. Just like alcoholic addicted, you have withdrawal symptoms. You feel as if they are essential in life. You sometimes feel that you cannot live without these kind of electronic gadgets. Did your parents use them? Earlier times, no. When technology was under the process of developing, parents did not use. They went out in the fields and played and went to libraries and started reading books. And they went to different tea shops and started reading daily newspapers and magazines and everything. Did they not live well? Your parents did not live well and happily. So don't think these are the essentials for a good life. So, my dear youngsters, don't think that these are very important for a good life. They are only the facilitators of life. You like to spend your nights before the TV or the computer screen watching your favorite programs or playing your favorite games, which is not good. Scientists have established that just one night of deprivation can lead to weight gain. Yeah, if you don't properly have a sleep, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വണ്ണം കൂടും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ വെയിറ്റ് കൂടും and related illness will be there. Early to bed and early to rise. This is a very important. നേരത്തെ ഉറങ്ങുവാൻ പോവുക, നേരത്തെ ഉണരുക makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. That is a very important thing. Instead of drinking clean water, you prefer energy drinks, soft drinks. So plain, clean drinking water is very important. But you say, I don't want to play. You prefer fizzy drinks or carbonated drinks, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, like this, fizzy drinks, which contain alarming rate of caffeine. Caffeine is one of the addictive elements. Large amount of caffeine adversely affect your body and mind. So avoid them. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta, and Sprite taste good, but their excess use can bring you harm. It will spoil, destroy your health. Don't remain indoors all the time. Please don't sit all the time in the home. Play vigorously. Go for playing badminton, walking, running, football playing, or basketball playing. Play vigorously. Let your bodies get a proper exercise. Yes, try to have exercise with your body. Enjoy eating nuts, fruits, vegetables, good eating habits. They will help you to keep your body trim and healthy. Nuts and buttermilk help to cut the flab. Okay, this is another very important advice. Now, it would be a good idea to keep pets to beat stress. Another very important suggestion is try to have some pet birds or animals. Spend some time with them. Watch them. If you don't have pets, watch nature, the beauty of the nature around you. The trees, flowers, creepers, the birds, the butterflies, the bees, etc. will make you marvel, wonder, surprise at the variety of life. Sunrise and sunset can fill your life with the colorful thoughts. Is there anything more beautiful than a beautiful night with the queen moon surrounded by the stars, or the waves kissing the sandy shore on a breezy evening? These are the wonderful natural scenes and sights. Try to go and enjoy those things. Now we go for activity 4, role play. Last year I went to pay him a visit. I thought I would go and see what it was like. Ivan goes on to narrate his meeting with his brother, attempt a role play of the narration. Please read the notes on page 159 of your textbook. Role play means make dialogue between the characters. That is all. Let us see Nikolai. So it is a dialogue between from the story Gooseberries. Nikolai and Ivan Ivanich. Welcome, Ivan. Nice to see you after such a long time. Nikolai is inviting his brother Ivan Ivanich. Ivan is talking. Nikolai, you have changed a lot. നിങ്ങൾ ഒത്തിരി മാറിപ്പോയി. You have become fat. നീ തടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നീ old. നീ വയസ്സായിട്ടുമുണ്ട്. Nikolai. Yes, Ivan. അതെ എൻ്റെ സഹോദര. I have become fat. Yes, ഞാൻ തടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. I spent much of my time inside the house. ഞാൻ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് തടിച്ചു? എൻ്റെ മിക്കവാറും സമയം ഞാൻ വീട്ടിനകത്തായിരുന്നു. Ivan, you too have become old. Nicola is also telling, hello, Ivan, you also became, നീയും ഒരു വയസ്സനായി. Ivan, I can't help. എനിക്ക് പറ്റുന്നില്ല. Time runs. സമയം ഓടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. Remember how young we were? So think about our childhood days. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ കുട്ടികളായി കളിച്ചു നിന്ന ആ കാലം. Good old days. വളരെ മനോഹരമായ ദിനങ്ങൾ. Nikolai, okay, Ivan. Let us go and look around my estate. Come, let us go and visit എൻ്റെ estate എല്ലാം ഒന്ന് ചുറ്റിക്കാണാം. Ivan, how are you getting on, brother? ഹലോ നിക്കോളായി എന്റെ സഹോദര നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ജീവിച്ചു പോകുന്നത് നല്ലതൊക്കെ തന്നെ നല്ല രീതിക്ക് തന്നെ നിക്കോളായി ഐ ആം ഡൂയിങ് വെരി വെൽ യെസ് ഞാൻ നല്ലതുപോലെ തന്നെ ജീവിച്ചു പോകുന്നുണ്ട് ഐ ആം എ ലാൻഡ് ഓണർ നൗ ഞാനൊരു ഭൂവുടമയാണ് ഐ ആം നോട്ട് ദ ഓൾഡ് ഒഫീഷ്യൽ ഇൻ ദ ട്രഷറി ആ ട്രഷറിയിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഭണ്ഡാര ഓഫീസിലെ ഒരു പഴയ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥനല്ല ഐ ഹാവ് ബിക്കം എ മാൻ ഓഫ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് ഇന്ന് പലരും അംഗീകരിക്കുന്ന എന്തോ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു മനുഷ്യനായി ഞാൻ മാറി ഈവാൻ ഗുഡ് ടു ഹിയർ യു ദാറ്റ് ഓ അത് കേൾക്കുവാൻ എനിക്ക് എന്ത് സന്തോഷമാണെന്നറിയുമോ യു ആർ ഹാപ്പി അറിഞ്ഞു യു നീ സന്തോഷമാണ് അല്ലയോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ദ റോൾ പ്ലേ ഡയലോഗ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ടു ബ്രദേഴ്സ് നിക്കോളായി ഐ ആം ഹാപ്പി when the peasants in my estate become sick they come to me and I treat them with soda and castor oil on my birthday. A Thanksgiving service is held in the middle of the village. I then give the peasants half a bucket of vodka. Okay, Ivan, let us now go back to the house. It is tea time. Now, their activity is given in brackets. അവർ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ ബ്രാക്കറ്റിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുകയാണ്. They go back to house and are having tea. They are There are gooseberries on the table. You see here Nicola is telling, അല്ലയോ ഇവാൻ ഇവാനിഷ് ഞാൻ വളരെ സന്തോഷവാനാണ് ഈ ഗ്രാമത്തിലുള്ള ഈ എസ്റ്റേറ്റിലുള്ള എല്ലാ കർഷകരും പെസൻസ് കർഷകർ ഇൻ ഇഫ് ദേ ആർ ഡിസീസ്ഡ് അവർക്ക് രോഗമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ അടുത്തേക്ക് അവർ വരുന്നു ഞാൻ അവരെ ശുശ്രൂഷിക്കുന്നു അവരെ സുഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു എന്തൊക്കെ ഉപയോഗിച്ചാണ് ഞാൻ അവരെ സുഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നത് സോഡ ആൻഡ് കാസ്റ്റർ ഓയിൽ പിന്നെ എൻ്റെ ജന്മദിനത്തിൽ ഞാൻ അവർക്ക് ഒത്തിരി എന്താ നന്ദി സൂചകമായ ചില പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ അവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്നു അവരെ കൊണ്ട് അവരുടെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഡ്രിങ്ക്സായ ബക്കറ്റ് വോഡ്ക അവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്നു then Nicola is telling Ivan look at those gooseberries they are from my estate they are so nice you see ആ നെല്ലിക്കകൾ എൻ്റെ തോട്ടത്തിൽ നിന്ന് പറിച്ചതാണ് അവ വളരെ മനോഹരമാണ് please they are from my estate Ivan gooseberries I don't think I like them They are too sour for me. But Ivan is telling, oh, നെല്ലിക്കയാണോ? ഓ, എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമല്ല. കാരണം ഭയങ്കര പുളിപ്പും കശപ്പുവാ. Nikolai, sour? Oh, പുളിപ്പാണോ? No, man. They are so delicious. ആ പുളിപ്പ് വളരെ മധുരമാണ്. I can eat a whole lot of them. എനിക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പ്ലേറ്റ് നിറയെ നെല്ലിക്ക ഇപ്പൊ വലിച്ചു വാരി തിന്നാൻ കഴിയും. ഈവാൻ, സോറി നിക്കോളായി. അപ്പോൾ ഈവാൻ ബ്രദർ പറയാണ്, ഓ ക്ഷമിക്കുക, ഐ കാണ്ട് ഈറ്റ് them. എനിക്ക് അവ തിന്നാൻ പറ്റില്ല. യു മേ ഈറ്റ്, നിനക്ക് കഴിക്കാം. മേ ബി യു എൻജോയ് them so much because they grew in your estate. നിനക്ക് നല്ലതുപോലെ കഴിക്കുവാം, അവയെ ആസ്വദിക്കാം. Because these gooseberries, ഈ നെല്ലിക്കകൾ നിന്റെ എസ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ വളർന്നതാണ്. മൈ ഐഡിയ ഓഫ് ഹാപ്പിനെസ് ഈസ് ക്വൈറ്റ് ഡിഫറെന്റ്. പക്ഷെ എന്റെ സന്തോഷത്തിന്റെ നിയമം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വളരെ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്. നിക്കോളായി, വെൽ ഐ നോ, ബട്ട് ഫോർ മീ ദേ ആർ സോ ഡെലീഷ്യസ്. ബട്ട് നിക്കോളായി ഈസ് ടെല്ലിങ്, അറിയാം, എനിക്കറിയാം, നീ പറഞ്ഞത് ശരിയാ. ബട്ട് ഫോർ മീ gooseberries are very tasty for me. Ivan, okay, Nikolai, enjoy them. You enjoy those gooseberries. So that role play is over. Now we are going to activity 5, essay. Satisfaction, self-sufficiency and piety are the characteristics of a happy life. Do you agree? Keeping in mind all the text that you have read in this unit, prepare an essay on your idea of a happy life. ഒരു യഥാർത്ഥ സന്തോഷപ്രദമായ ജീവിതത്തിന്റെ ആശയങ്ങൾ എന്താണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ഈ യൂണിറ്റിൽ പഠിച്ച എല്ലാ പാഠങ്ങളെയും മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ട് ഒരു എസ്സേ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുക. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ഹാപ്പിനെസ് ഡിഫേഴ്സ് ഫ്രം person to person. From, FROM, FROJN is a wrong. Happiness differs from person, FROM, from person to person. That is all. This is why we say one man's meal is the other man's poison. ഒരു മനുഷ്യന്റെ ഭക്ഷണം മറ്റൊരു മനുഷ്യന്റെ വിഷമായി മാറാം. ആൻഡ് വൺ മാൻസ് റിലീജിയൻ ഈസ് അനദർ മാൻസ് മാഡ്നസ്. ഒരു മനുഷ്യന്റെ മതം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് മറ്റൊരു മനുഷ്യന്റെ ഭ്രാന്തായിരിക്കാം. ഹാപ്പിനെസ് ലൈക്ക് ബ്യൂട്ടി ഈസ് നോൺ ഡിഫൈനബിൾ ഇൻ പ്രിസൈസ് ടേംസ്. സൗന്ദര്യത്തെ പോലെ തന്നെ സന്തോഷത്തെയും നമുക്ക് യഥാർത്ഥ രീതിയിൽ നിർവചിക്കുവാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സ്റ്റിൽ there are some common ingredients, but there are some common factors. ചില ഘടകങ്ങൾ, പൊതുവായ ചില ഘടകങ്ങൾ സന്തോഷത്തിനായിട്ടുണ്ട്. Some characteristics that constitute a happy life. നമുക്ക് ആ സന്തോഷപ്രദമായ ജീവിതത്തിലെ പ്രധാന ഘടകങ്ങൾ ഏതാണെന്ന് നോക്കാം. I definitely agree with the view that satisfaction, self-sufficiency and piety are some of the characteristics. You see, 3 important words: self-sufficiency, satisfaction, self-sufficiency and piety, feeling kindness for other people are some of the character. Satisfaction comes when our desires are fulfilled. നമുക്ക് ഒരു സംതൃപ്തി എപ്പോഴാണ് കിട്ടുന്നത്? സാറ്റിസ്ഫാക്ഷൻ, സംതൃപ്തി, വെൻ അവർ ഡിസൈർസ്, നമ്മുടെ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ സഫലീകരിക്കപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ സാറ്റിസ്ഫാക്ഷൻ കംസ്. ഡിസയേഴ്സ് ആർ അവർ വേരിയസ് കൈൻഡ്സ്. ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ പല രീതിയിലുണ്ട്. സം ലവ് അഡ്വഞ്ചർ. Okay, adventure is one of the desires. Climbing the Himalayas, swimming across the seas, flying into space. These are the adventures. Are things some people enjoy, and such things give them great satisfaction. For some, satisfaction comes when they behold things of beauty. Look at things of beauty. സൗന്ദര്യമുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളോ കാഴ്ചകളോ കാണുമ്പോൾ അവർക്ക് സന്തോഷം വരും. Sights, sounds and movements of nature and even people make them happy and satisfied. Standing on a hill, watching the sunset might satisfy the lovers of nature. പ്രകൃതി സ്നേഹികൾ ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങൾ സന്തോഷപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. Walking through the forest, watching the wildlife might be a thrilling experience to some other nature lovers. Self-sufficiency is another characteristic of a happy life. Self-sufficiency means we don't depend upon anybody else. We are having our own happiness and satisfaction with our own capacity. If a person does not have the essential requirements like food, dress, shelter, he can't be happy. He should have a self-sufficiency in these matters. Depending on others for our needs is demeaning, which is not up to our status. Demeaning. നമ്മളെ വില കുറച്ച് കാണിക്കുന്നു. Especially for an adult. Even birds and animals train their young to be self-sufficient when they grow up. Another important thing is piety is another important characteristic of a happy life. Piety does not mean mere religious piety. Piety also includes the love and respect for our parents, elders, teachers, brothers, relatives, neighbors, and people at large. Universal brotherhood. We saw that the piety of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji did not limit itself to some rituals and religious worship. His piety went much beyond that. A real pious man will also think of the welfare of his fellow beings. He will not do anything that brings pain and sorrow to others because he feels that all human beings are the children of the same God, Ishwar, Allah, and God. Three important major religions: Hinduism, Islamism, and Christianity are synonyms of that great power that created us and that nourishes us. There are many more characteristics of a happy life, but satisfaction, self sufficiency, and piety seem to be most important. Once we have all these, we definitely will be happy people. So that activity is over. Now, comparative analysis. There is a poem, Ode on Solitude. In your textbook, it is there by Alexander Pope. What is the poet trying to convey, communicate? നിങ്ങളോട് ആശയപരമായി സംവാദിക്കുവാൻ കവി എന്താണ് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത് through the poem? Make a comparative analysis of this poem with the words worth to sleep. Very important one. In your question paper, the last question will be, please, one poem from your textbook will be taken, and another poem from outside will be, make a comparative analysis of the poem you studied in your textbook with the another poem from outside. Okay, which will give you 8 marks. Be prepared for that one. So I am going to explain. Please try to understand this one. In his poem Ode on Solitude, Alexander defines a happy man. A happy man has a lot of land. You see, as to Ode on Solitude, a happy man has a lot of land. അവന് ആവശ്യത്തിലധികം ഭൂവസ്തുക്കളുണ്ട്, ഭൂമിയുണ്ട്. He does not have to go out looking for any job. അവന് പുറത്തു പോയി ഏതെങ്കിലും ജോലി ചെയ്യേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യവുമില്ല. He has a milk from his cattle. അവന്റെ കന്നുകാലിയിൽ നിന്ന് ആവശ്യത്തിനുള്ള പാല് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. ബ്രെഡ് ഫ്രം ഹിസ് ഫീൽഡ്സ്. അവന്റെ ആവശ്യത്തിന് തിന്നേണ്ട അപ്പം അവന്റെ എന്താ ഈ കാർഷിക വിളഭൂമിയിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ അവന് കിട്ടുന്നു. ഡ്രസ്, അവൻ ഉടുക്കേണ്ട വസ്ത്രം അവന്റെ ആടുകളുടെ ചെമ്മരി ആടിന്റെ രോമങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടുന്നു. The trees give him a shade in the summer. അവന് എ സിയോ തണുപ്പോ ഒന്നും കേൾക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. സമ്മർ സമയത്ത് വൃക്ഷങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടുന്ന തണുപ്പ്. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ദ വിന്റർ ഹി മേക്സ് എ ഫയർ വിത്ത് ദ വുഡ് ഫ്രം ദോസ് ട്രീസ്. വിന്റർ സീസണിൽ അവന്റെ ചൂട് കായണമെങ്കിൽ അവന്റെ വൃക്ഷങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വെട്ടിയേൽക്കുന്ന വിറക് കൂട്ടിയിട്ട് തീയിട്ടാൽ അവന്റെ ശരീരം ചൂട് കിട്ടും. ഹി ഹാസ് ഹെൽത്ത് ഇൻ ബോഡി. അഫ്കോഴ്സ് വളരെയധികം ആരോഗ്യപ്രദമായ ശരീരമാണ്. ആൻഡ് പീസ് ഇൻ മൈൻഡ്, ശാന്തതയേറിയ അവനെങ്കിൽ സമാധാനമുള്ള മനസ്സാണ് അവൻ്റേത്. ഹി സ്ലീപ്സ് സൗണ്ട്ലി അറ്റ് നൈറ്റ്. വളരെ മനോഹരമായ യാതൊരു പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുമില്ല, അവൻ രാത്രിയിൽ അവൻ കിടന്നുറങ്ങുന്നു. ഹി യൂസസ് ഹിസ് ലൈഫ് ഫോർ സ്റ്റഡി ആൻഡ് റിക്രിയേഷൻ. യു സീ, അവന്റെ ജീവിതം പഠിക്കുവാനും ജീവിതം ആസ്വാദപ്രദമാക്കുവാനും അവൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നു. ഹി ഈസ് എ ഗുഡ് മാൻ and spends time in meditation, thinking about his life. The poet wants to live like him. Yeah, the poet wants to live like that man. He does not want to be famous. He wants to quietly go away from life unlamented. കണ്ണീരും നെടുവീർപ്പുകളുമില്ലാതെ അവന്റെ ജീവിതം സ്വസ്ഥമായി ജീവിച്ചു ചേർക്കണം. He does not even want any memorial stone raised on his tomb. അവന്റെ കുഴിമാടത്തിൽ അവനെ സ്മരിക്കുവാനായിട്ട് ഒരു കുഴിമാടത്തിന്റെ സ്മാരകം പണിയുവാൻ പോലും അവൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നില്ല. That this is about our solitude. Now we are comparing the poem To Sleep by William Wordsworth, who is known as the highest priest of nature. Is an exquisite poem, very wonderful, excellently fabulous poem that presents to us some of the finest sights, beautiful sights, sounds, and movements of nature. We can see a flock of sheep leisurely passing by one after one. This I have given in the previous notes also. Please try to take down these notes systematically. To Sleep by William Wordsworth, the complete notes. We can hear the sound of rain and the murmuring of bees. We can hear, here is left there, you can add there. We can hear the sound of rain and the murmuring of bees. We can hear the fall of rivers, winds, and seas. We can see the smooth fields, white sheets of water, and pure sky. We also hear the melodies of small birds coming from the orchard trees. We hear the cuckoo's melancholy cry. The poet can't sleep. Maybe he is worried about the bad things that happened during the past. In fact, he has not slept for a couple of days, and this makes him all the more worried. If he does not sleep, he won't be able to enjoy the wonderful signs and sounds of the morning, the glory of the morning. Sleep brings fresh thoughts and joyous health. Both the poems are exquisite, excellently, fabulously written poems. While Alexander Pope describes the things needed for a man to be happy, Wordsworth is more interested in presenting the beautiful sights, sounds, and movements of nature. So, actually, Alexander Pope describing about what are the important things needed for life. But Wordsworth presents the beautiful sights and sounds and movements of nature. In both the poems, sleep is an essential element for happiness. Without a sleep, nobody can be very happy. Only a happy man can have a sound sleep. So, sleep and happiness are interrelated. My dear students, what I have to say, you are all in the internet world, all online class and instructions and examinations. Please try to have a sufficient time to sleep, and exercises make your body healthy, wealthy. The reverse is also true. Only a sound sleep can make a man happy. Sleep and happiness are complementary. Then the next paragraph, between the two poems, I prefer the poem by Wordsworth, that is To Sleep. The imagery there is far better. Both the poems have a good rhythm and rhyme. There are instances means examples of alliteration and assonance. I told you this is very elaborately I discussed in other notes and classes. So there are instances, examples of alliteration and assonance in both the poems, and they increase the melodious quality of the poem. Alliterations and assonance are giving melodious quality to the poems. There are excellent figures of speeches, poetic techniques, especially personification. Both the poems have a grave mood, means not having very much exultation or overjoy. Nothing funny, nothing light-hearted. Both are philosophical poems, giving a wonderful ideas and message. I do not agree with the idea of Pope of a man going away from this world quietly, unknown, not even leaving behind him a tombstone for posterity to remember him. So actually, Pope is telling that he does not want his memory to be constructed upon his grave. അവന്റെ ശ്മശാനത്തിൽ കുഴിമാടത്തിൽ ഒരു സ്മരണ അവനെ ഓർക്കുവാൻ വേണ്ടി വരുന്ന ജനങ്ങൾക്ക് അവനെ ഓർക്കുവാനായിട്ട് ഒരു സ്മരണ നിർമ്മിക്കുവാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഐഡിയയോട് എനിക്കൊരിക്കലും യോജിക്കുവാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. ദിസ് ഈസ് യുവർ പേഴ്സണൽ ഒപ്പീനിയൻ അബൌട്ട് ദി പോയം. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ഓൾ. With that, we came to the end of this notes. Please, my dear students, even if this is not included, but in the focus area, but this there will be more questions you can expect from non-focus area also. But yeah, full A plus students or a studious and highly intelligent students would be completely thorough with the whole textbook. Then it is quite sure that you can get full A plus 80 out of 80. Wish you all the best. Thank you.